I'm Will John from ADAS, and we're here today at Springfields farm near Tenby to talk to Nick and Pat Bean about the EIP in integrated pest management in soft fruit. The EIP really aims to increase knowledge and awareness of integrated pest management in soft fruit. I think we are in a climate now where we are seeing resistance to certain pesticides. We are looking at a tighter regulatory landscape for pesticide use. So a project which aims to look at biocontrols in Wales we think is timely, and we think it'll be of interest to growers throughout Wales. So Nick, thank you very much for agreeing to take part in the project. Could you start off by telling us a bit about the farm, the crops you're growing, your system, and your interest in integrated pest and disease management?
We've been growing strawberries here in one form or another since about the mid-1980s, and we've gradually moved from an unprotected crop of matted row crop of Cambridge favourite in the field to what you can see here, which is a tabletop version. We've moved from June-bearing strawberries into ever-bearers, and that has presented new problems. Growing strawberries for us has been a continuous learning process. This EIP project has come along in a very timely way to help us improve our understanding of pest and disease control without using a lot of conventional pesticides. Well, there are two main groups of problems which you're going to encounter growing strawberries, varying types of pests which you can expect to occur in a strawberry crop, and you've got disease problems which occur on a very regular basis. It's becoming increasingly difficult to do it with conventional pesticides. We have to have an alternative, and we have to have an effective, cost-effective alternative. That's why we were interested in this project.
I'm also joined today by Guy Johnson of ADAS. Guy's been carrying out the assessments here at Springfields and Skirlage Farm Gower, another farm which is part of this EIP. Guy, how long has this integrated pest management approach been going on in horticulture, and do you see many people using it?
So it's not, in the grand scheme of things, that new. It's been used since ancient China, but recently it's really kicked off since the 90s, where it started to develop even further, and now it's become legislation that it must be the first thing considered before you use chemical control. So it's widely used across the country and across the world.
What sort of crops and systems are suited to this approach, and could you tell us something a bit about these bioprotectants that you're working with?
So all crops and cropping systems are suitable for it, both indoors and outdoors. Outdoor cropping systems are a bit harder to manage because you have to take into account the environment and the climate, but indoor cropping systems are much more easier to manage because you can really control the environment and make it suitable for your pests. There are a variety of different delivery methods for getting the biological controls into the crop. So there are sachets that you can put onto your crop that you can hook them onto wherever it is you want to distribute your biologicals. Maybe that's in a pest hotspot where you've got something like a lot of aphids concentrated on one small area. You can hook these sachets over the leaf of the crop, and they're nice and close to the pest, so they're very quick and easy to use. These biological controls are quite easy to get a hold of. There are numerous distributors that you can contact that will supply you with anything you want, and they're also quite easy to use as well. You can literally just tell them what pest you're having an issue with, and they will recommend what biological control you will need. The cost of these, initially you have to put in a bit more of an upfront cost. There's sticky traps and pheromone traps that you will need for monitoring, which will guide you as to the best time to apply these biological controls. And then after that, it should be comparable to a typical pesticide regime.
But in terms of the costs of these products, I suppose we have to ask the bigger question: if we do have resistance and if there is a tighter regulatory framework, I think most growers will have to look at this integrated control method moving forwards. project is now approaching the end of its second season, drawing to a close. What do you take away as some of the successes, and what are your thoughts for the future?
Both years it's been a success. We have managed to control the pests without having any significant damage to the crop. It's been at least as effective as a chemical program would have been, and it's allowed us to use biopesticides instead of conventional fungicides. Yes, I would recommend it to any grower. I can't see any justification for using any product which would leave a residue in the crop. I think this is the way forward, and we need to get it out now to try and influence more people, perhaps even those who are organic growers would benefit from a better understanding of the process.